So yeah, that was my little rundown, but not so little rundown of what's happening basically in the book. Um, the the rest of this video is just gonna be what I think about the book. So the first thing that I really wanted to talk about is, what does the comet mean? What is it supposed to mean? Like, I know that when Daenerys went to the House of Dust or whatever, where the warlocks are, is it called warlocks? Yes, the warlocks are. Um, like they told her that it was because of that, like the comment was for her, it was leading them to them, but that was just like a fake thing, like it was one of the traps. So what was the comment for? Was that what it was for, or was it for something else, or was it for everyone? What is the comment for? I feel like the comment just got forgotten, and I was like, I want to know what the comment is for. What's the comment for? If you know, tell me. I don't think you would, because it doesn't, I don't think it says in the book. But yeah. The next thing that I wanted to talk about is Theon Greyjoy. If I thought I didn't like Sansa in like the first book in the Game of Thrones, I really did not like Theon Greyjoy in this book. He was such a terrible character. I mean, I felt sorry for him for like a minute, and then I just was like, he's just, what's wrong with you? Like, I don't know, I feel like he talks so big about himself, and he's like, I'm gonna be a king, and I'm gonna be amazing, blah 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 blah, but he's not actually. He has nothing to back it up. He has no like real plan. Like, do you know, I thought in Game of Thrones that he was so cool, and he had this kind of hidden, well, not cool, but he was always smiling, and I felt like he had this hidden kind of, I don't know, I thought he was powerful, not powerful, but he at least had a plan. You know, I thought he'd be more like Tyrion, but just hidden more, but he's not. He's just like, yeah. Yeah, that's just the next thing that I wanted to talk about is the fact that it focused so much on Tyrion. Like, Tyrion, as some of you may know, is like my favorite character from Game of Thrones, but I wouldn't say he's my favorite character in this book. I don't really know my favorite character in this book, because it's probably either um, Daenerys, Jon, or Arya. Because Tyrion was just there too much. Like, there were just, I mean, it was interesting to learn about all like the battle preparations for like the war that was gonna happen, and you know, it was interesting, and everything that was happening, and all the stuff that he was plotting, and stuff like that, and it was cool, but I just felt like there was too much. Like, I was like, where are all the Jon chapters, and the Daenerys chapters, and the Arya chapters? Like, I just felt like it was all just Tyrion, like, Tyrion, and someone else, and someone else, and Tyrion, and someone else, and Tyrion, and someone else, and Tyrion. It was all just Tyrion. And I know the main part of the book was about, like, the build up to the battle, and then the battle, but it didn't have to be all about Tyrion. I mean, it wasn't all about Tyrion, but there was a lot of Tyrion in this book. I felt like there was just a little bit too much, just a smidgen. Just a smidgen too much Tyrion, and yeah. Um, so, I really liked that story, but the part of the book that I really liked, or the parts of the book that I really liked, was Daenerys' story, Daenerys' story, Arya's story, and Jon's story. So Arya's story, you know, she's going with Euron to the Night's Watch, and I don't know, I liked the way that that Arya kind of developed. I felt like she developed in this book a lot. She developed a lot in the last book, but I felt like she became self-aware more, and you know, she grew. I mean, she's very young, so she's only learning these things. Um, but yeah, I felt like, you know, she developed as a character, and I really liked the development, and I really liked her character. I like the way that she's going, and the fact that she escaped. I have like high hopes for what happens, because I feel like when people are in one place in this book, their story like starts to get not as interesting, like Tyrion, but you know, when they go on adventures and they go out, like Jon, then it becomes really, really interesting. And I really, you know, I'm really excited for what happens with Arya. And also, I'm really interested to see if she's gonna go to the east to meet that guy that she met. His name is Jaquen Hagar. I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure, but yeah, I really liked his character, like the whole like saying the name to her, and like the way that he spoke was really cool. I really like that, and also I like the whole saying that she has to say when she like meets one of his men, which is Valar Morghulis. Valar Morghulis. I feel like I'm not doing that justice, but I'm really excited to see. I hope that he's in like one of the next books, because I really hope she goes to the east. I'm really excited for that. I really want someone to interact with Daenerys. Like, seriously, someone like meet Daenerys that's in like the Stark family or in one of the other families. Yeah, and I really also like Jon's story. You know, just the fact that he was going out and he was, you know, we were seeing like this kind of magical kind of fantasy kind of thing that we were seeing with Bran as well, but Bran is so young that I don't know, I can't really, yeah, I liked Bran, but I liked Jon better. And I really liked his whole story and how he was going further and further north, and I thought the whole, like, I'm really, really excited about the fact that he's now like a double agent, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen there. I don't feel like Arya or Jon were featured as much as I wanted them to be in this book, and I'm really excited that I feel like there's going to be like a focus on them now that the battle is done, and you know, yeah. So I hope that there's like a focus on them, and I'm really, really excited for that. And then Daenerys' story is just awesome. Like I like Daenerys' story the most. The the whole like warlock story and like the turn right always thing, and her dragons, she has dragons, and now she has a boat and she's going back to Pentos. And I'm so excited for that. I really want her to get to Westeros. Like, get to Westeros. Like, I want her to be, like, in that story. I'm really, really excited for that. So yeah, those were, like, my favorite stories from the book. And, yeah, I really, really like all the stories in the book, but those stories stood out for me. Especially Daenerys' story. Like, I think I said in my last book talk video for Game of Thrones that I really wanted to see more dragons and, like, an emphasis on, like, the magical, like, fantastical fantasy side of the book, because there is a major focus on like the medieval side and like the war and everything like that, and I understand, like, you know, that I think the writer wants to focus more on, you know, like the emotions and the relationships and the complexity of things like that, but I really, really wanted to just see more magic stuff. So not magic, but you know, more dragons and more White Walkers and stuff like that. And I got that through Daenerys and through Bran and through Jon, and so yeah, that's why I really like those stories. And then Arya is just, she's just awesome. Like, yeah, I really liked her character, and the whole, what's it called? The whole Valar Morghulis thing. That was really awesome. Valar Morghulis. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, those were the stories that I liked the best. The thing that I also wanted to say about this book is, I said, I think at the start of this video somewhere, that I really felt it was a really long time for me to read it, and the reason was because I felt whenever I read it, I would just, you know, go into the world, but it felt like I was reading more than one book. Do you know, like, I felt like it was just really, it was long, but it was, you know, I was just engulfed in this world, and I don't know, I just felt, yeah, it pulled me in much better, I think, than a Game of Thrones, which did a really good job, you know, like initially, but this just did an even better job, I think. I don't know if it's a better book. It might be. I think it might be better than a Game of Thrones. But yeah, it's definitely an amazing book. Um, yeah, I really, really liked it. The other thing is, people keep on dying. Eddard Stark dies, and then he comes back to life, and then he dies again. He doesn't come back to life, but you think he's dead, and then he's not dead, and then he is dead. So, and then the White Walkers, and like where they come to life, like the people from Benjen Stark, who, like his like ranger people, they find the rangers, and then they come back to life, and they attack Jon, and you know, he saves people. But yeah, like, you know, you think they're it, but they're actually not, and then they die again. And then the Bran and Stark thing, when they died, I just put the book down, and I was like, I don't know, I just like the whole, there was like this thing where it went to Caitlyn's point of view, and how she was praying to like all the seven gods, and I felt like everyone was just gonna die. Like I was like, oh my gosh, are the books gonna end like one Stark at a time gets like cut down? Because the Starks are like, even Sansa, I really like Sansa. Like, I would be sad to see Sansa go at this point. So yeah, I was just like, oh, I hope that all the Starks don't die by like the seventh book. Um, but yeah, I just put the book down, and then they come back to life. They're actually alive. Like, I was like, please be alive. Like, I don't want to believe it. And then they were, and I was like, yes, yes. And then the next person is Tyrion. Like, he goes into battle, and you know, he takes a blow to the head, and you think that he's dead, but he's actually not. But yeah, so people keep on coming back to life. It's like soap opera, like on TV, like All My Children, or like The Days of Our Lives or something like that. Like, characters always die, but then they come alive. They come alive. They come back to life. Like or like it's like their twin, but it's actually, you know, them, or like someone's brain is in someone else's body. People just keep on coming back to life, and that's how it is in this book as well. So, but I'm glad that Bran and Rick are back alive, because I really want to see where Bran's story is gonna go, especially with the whole dream thing. I felt like he was gonna turn into a wolf, but yeah, we'll see. I don't think he will, but we will see how things go in the next book, which is this one right here. A Storm of Swords. This is the book I have. A Storm of Swords, and it's part 1, Steel and Snow. So this is the next BWIF video that you'll see me in. And yeah, that's the end of this BWIF video for this book right here, Game of Thrones, The Clash of Kings by George R. R. Martin. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you have anything to say about this book, please put it in the comment section below. I would love to read it and to just talk to you about this book, because A Game of Thrones is it's an amazing series, and I'm so glad that I found it. I'm so glad I'm reading it, and I'm so glad that I'm doing this BWIF series with you. So yeah, that's the end of this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.